Welcome back. This is Philip Bickel at Legal Tyranny. It's July 9th, 2021. We're continuing through my opening brief for my traffic infraction side of my appeal, and we are in the arguments section, about to get into some juicy information on the Statute of Limitation Code. So let's go ahead and get started here. The applicable statutes are as follows. HRS 701-108 Time Limitations 2F. A prosecution for a petty misdemeanor or a violation other than a parking violation must be commenced within 1 year after it is committed. Okay, so for both of my appeals, in this particular appeal, I'm strictly dealing with violations. These are non-jailable offenses. They're fine or fee only. Now on the criminal side, really, they made the no driver's license and no insurance a petty misdemeanor so that people have the threat of being thrown into jail for simply going on the road and traveling to and fro, doing their thing, not, in most cases, not using the roads as their place of business. Like in Hawaii, we've got the Madsen truck carriers, or all throughout the U.S., you've got different truck carriers that transport goods to and fro. And those truck drivers clock their hours. They're required to do various things. So those people are making money off of using the road, and really this shifting of the driver's license and no insurance into a category where people could be jailed is strictly for enforcing compliance on the population. And the population that they're attempting to apply it to, they've done very well. Most people, comply with it, even though they're in a class of exempted persons, as I've shown in my other videos. So, bottom line though, what we're looking at here is the actual statute of limitations for petty misdemeanors or violations. And if you want to see the statute of limitations for other classes of offenses, felonies, Class C felony or higher, or other various misdemeanors, they're going to be in this section here, 701-108, under Section 2. And the, I believe Section A starts with like the worst of the worst, which might be like murder, felony. And they'll indicate there's no statute of limitations on that, for this type of crime. There's no statute of limitations. They'll just say, there's no time limit on when this may be commenced. Now, my situation, every single one of the alleged charges on the citation for this particular case was a violation or an infraction, as they're known. And then for the other citation that I was given, both of them were petty misdemeanors. So this is the only code that applies to this appeal and the other appeal with regards to when the prosecution needed to enter their charges, and they failed to do that. Time limitations. 4. An offense is committed either when every element occurs, or if a legislative purpose to prohibit a continuing course of conduct plainly appears at the time when the course of the conduct or defendant's complicity therein is terminated. Time starts to run on the day after the offense is committed. Okay, so read this code right here in its entirety, and it will help you understand what the statute of limitations is, because that's what this is. This one right here, that is the particular statute giving you the time limitations on filings for prosecution. So they had 1 full year from the day after I got pulled over by the officer to enter oral charges, and they didn't do that. That would have been November 2017 that they needed to do it, but January 2018 they entered insufficient oral charges. That prosecutor didn't expect me to say I hadn't been charged. The judge forced him, well, didn't force him, but I felt like the judge was controlling everything. It's like, you want to prosecute him? You want to enter charges? It's like, of course I do, Judge, you know. So the guy went and tried to enter charges off the top of his head as best as he could, and it was a flop. Okay, in addition, 701-108, Section 5, a prosecution is commenced either when an indictment is found or a complaint filed, or when an arrest warrant or other process is issued, provided that such warrant or process is executed without unreasonable delay. So the prosecution was trying to pretend in their argument in one of their briefs as if the cop handled other process through a citation. Sorry, he's not a prosecuting officer. He can't commence any prosecution. They know that. They were just, again, doing their damnedest to try to make, you know, this issue, make the issues go away, make me stop raising counters to what they're doing. So, you know, they have to give an excuse if there's a delay. And that's this section. The period of limitation does not run, A, during any time when the accused is continuously absent from the state or has no reasonably ascertainable place of abode or work within the state, but in no case shall this provision extend to the period of limitation by more than 4 years from the expiration of the period of the limitation prescribed in Section 2, subsection 2. Okay, so these are the relevant portions of the statute of limitations for my situation, which in this particular appeal is a violation only situation. And yeah, you guys need to study this section in particular for the statute of limitations. Again, as part of your overall strategy of fighting things, you need to just put things in cruise control. A lawyer that I learned a lot of stuff from, I learned it. It was online. It's on archive.org now. He went by Lawyer Dude. His name was Douglas Palachik. And I don't know that the guy passed away under natural circumstances. I can't find anything, and he was very young when he passed. It could have been, you know, he lived, you know, hard, because this sort of stuff takes a lot out of you. And I don't know, he came across as libertarian, so he's very, liberal with his policies on drugs and stuff like that, but he didn't come across as a complete degenerate, and he did put more information out there. I learned more from him than any other source. And, you know, the formatting, the nature of dealing with filings, making sure that you have your own copies of things so that, you know, when you file stuff, you go to the court clerk with 3 things, 1 stamped original or written original, and you file that with them, and then the other 2, you have them actually stamp right then and there so that you have proof that you filed those things in. And you keep those 2 copies with you. So when the judge is like, "Oh, I don't have this," you know, you could be like, "Well, I have a court clerk stamped copy here for you. So don't worry about finding that original. Here's your copy. Let's keep the proceedings moving." And they can't play games and lose your paperwork. But yeah, that guy taught me a lot, and so you can learn a lot of the things that I've learned from him by studying the things that I filed here. And you can try to dig up stuff on him if you can. He's got some stuff on YouTube, but it's mostly farming related. He was also came from a farming family. All right, let's end that for now. I'm exhausted. I've put a lot into this. Hopefully you guys are learning something, and if you've enjoyed the video, give it a like. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to keep tabs on when I'm posting things, and select the notifications. That'll help hopefully give you a heads up. Hopefully YouTube hasn't messed with that and it's working. Please copy and send out actual links to specific videos that you think people would actually benefit from. That'll probably draw more people in. I actually get more traffic going out and spamming that I'm actually a whistleblower, and you know, here's an interesting case. I get more people clicking on that than notifications or recommendations from YouTube. So if you guys do the same thing, you'll help bring more traffic in. People can learn, and who knows, maybe the algorithm with YouTube hasn't been tweaked to just suppress everything completely, and that additional traffic might help them make more recommendations. So you could do all that. It doesn't cost you a dime, just cost you a little bit of time. And if that's what you could do to help get this information out, it's really appreciated. So until next time,